Hey guys, welcome to the laser show for Tesla. It looks like a laser show with all these trend lines, doesn't it? Like rays of, red lasers and green lasers going on, like a disco effect. Anyway, so this is the stock chart for the week. Well, today is Sunday, the 16th of February. So heading into next week, the 17th, Monday, the 17th of next week. The stock market is going to be closed, guys, on Monday because if you look here, guys, we have, where is it? Washington's birthday. So Monday, the 17th of February is Washington's birthday. So the stock market's closed then, and then it'll be closed on Good Friday, and then it'll be also closed on Memorial Day in May. But for February the 17th, which is on Monday, guys, it's closed for Washington's birthday. So it's a good chance for me to basically do quite a lot of stock charting ready for Tuesday the 18th of February 2025 when the stock market opens. So this is Tesla on a monthly chart, guys. So this green line here that I have, guys, this is the uptrend at the moment. So on the bigger chart, on the monthly, you can see Tesla's running up. And then this other green line here is also showing you that Tesla's going up. And it's been in an uptrend. So this one also is showing you that it's still in an uptrend. However, you can see it's starting to go like on a bit of a decline there with that red trend line that's, it's basically hitting that red trend line here, this line here, guys, and it's kind of like, giving up. So it's kind of like not really wanting to go any higher than the all-time, well, not all-time highs. Oh no, it is all-time highs. Sorry, guys. Yeah, all-time highs at almost 500 a share. It's been a while since I've looked at Tesla. So anyway, that's the monthly. Let's have a look at the weekly, see how that differs. So when I go into the weekly chart, each of these candles that you can see represents a whole week. So last week Tesla ended on this doji here, but it's a hammer doji. So this here looks as though it's looking for a push up. You can see where buyers have just jumped in and just move this all the way up to close point, to the closing price of 356. So that looks quite good for Tesla, but like I said, it still has this red trend line here, the downtrend line here that it needs to like break in order to uptrend any higher than $400. And plus I think this purple box here is the gap fill. I think there is still a gap fill on this, but we'll look into it, see if I need to remove it. It might have already been filled. Like I said with gap fills, guys, it will always go back to fill the gap at some point in time. So if we move to the day, each of these candles now represent a day of trading. So as you can see, there's been quite a few gaps down here. Let me just move this. Can I get to this? I think this needs to be unlocked. Hang on a second, guys. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I'm doing this on my phone, so I'm having to click in like some weird places and it's doing funny things. Okay, guys, so here we have a gap fill that it needs to come back and fill at some point. So there, guys, it needs to be filled at some point, that. So literally at the moment, you can see Tesla is moving up. Look, it's moving up. It wants to move up to 400 with the opening session of next week. However, that white resistance zone above here, this here, guys, is a resistance. So once it hits that, if it can blast through that, it's going to go back to all-time highs again. So we'll keep an eye out for Tesla and what it decides to do. But as I say, it's been on a downtrend since last week. Look, it's been on a downtrend. Can you see, guys? So by the way, I'm on TradingView on my mobile phone. I know I said I was going to do this on the on the actual big screen, but it's I'm recording this about 7:30 evening time, so it's getting a bit late. So I don't really want artificial light on. It doesn't do anything for, you know, filming. So if I do it on my camera phone, it's going to be a bit sharper for you. Okay, so guys, can you see this support zone here at 300? So it's held support and it's moving, it's wanting to move back. So let's go down to 4 hours and see if we can see anything, any more details as to like how strong Tesla looks. So yeah, Tesla is looking pretty decent. It's holding on. It's using this zone here at 300 as support. So it's wanting to go higher. It depends like what's in the news for Tesla coming up next week. So hopefully, guys. So as I say, hopefully, guys, let me just have a quick look at the news. So headlines for Tesla from February the 16th at 5:30. It's been used. Tesla's competitor is Meta. Yeah, there's not really much in the news, so it's just a case of seeing, you know, if Elon has any really good news that could push it, because as I say, Elon, you know, kind of like can make this stock move like crazy. It may be down here, but any good positive words from Elon, it could just shoot, you know, past all, like just shoot through all these resistance zones that I've got here for Tesla, and if not, then it would just trade like a normal trading day. So yeah, so look out for Tesla, guys. It's on its way up. Let's check the 1 hours, no difference. So yeah, so that's Tesla, guys. Let's move on to NVDA. Okay, so again, I have some lovely laser shows going on for NVIDIA. So we'll start off, guys, with the monthly chart on NVIDIA. So, yeah, since it's, you know, since its birth at $10, it's been doing really, really well. I mean, it started life at, I mean, imagine if you jump in with NVIDIA about under a $5. Well, under $5, you'd be like banking money at 150, almost $150 today, guys. Like that's that's one heck of a stock. Like this stock is the top AI stock at the moment, and no wonder why that is. I mean, NVIDIA as a company is kind of like huge in terms of, you know, what it offers to the market. So yeah, laser show, here we go again. So it's definitely a very good trending stock. It's going up and up and up and up. There's nothing really much to say about NVIDIA. It's a very strong stock. There's a pullback, but as you can see, with a pullback at 118, people are just buying it up in droves. Just look at that huge monthly candle there. This is the month of February. Look at that. Guys, look at that. Everybody is just really wanting to, you know, get as much of their hands on this stock as possible. There was consolidation, as you can see here, guys. Like here, there was like consolidation. Can you see? But it's obviously broke to the upside, had a pullback, and now it's been all bought back up again. So let's move to the weekly time frame, and we'll see what the weekly offers. So all my support and resistance, you can see. So support turns into resistance, and at the moment we have support at around about the 118 to what mark is this? 118 to 124 is where you're kind of like getting a bounce for. There's lots of buyers there buying NVIDIA up. So at the moment you can see it is trending upwards. Yep, it's broken the downward trend a few times, and on this weekly, the easiest thing I can say, guys, is if you go into a line chart. This is what I learned from a lot of different traders. Where's my line chart? Oh, I think I'm in the wrong bit there. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah, so this is what I've learned from a lot of traders, that if you want to chart these things a bit easier, if you use the line chart, can you see it's a lot easier to figure out where to put your trend lines? Because like the closing points and the peaks, and like you can see a lot easier where to mark up. So if I mark this up a bit better, and as I say, about, you know, 3 touch points are always best, but if you can't always get 3 touch points in, just try your best to do a trend line just to show where it's going. I mean, like if I did a trend line here, it doesn't really make much sense. So if I leave the trend line there, and so can you see, guys, on there you can see how easy it is to spot where to put your trend lines, because each of those peaks are where the closing price is. Let's get this a bit more on point. If I make this 2, it might be a lot sharper, this line. Okay, so then we can now go back to candlesticks. So yeah, that's better. So now I've got like a better trend line. So you can see there from that descending red trend line above that NVIDIA is heading towards it, but it may not break through, or it may break through to keep going higher. It depends on, you know, how it trades on Monday and if there's any news. Oh yes, there's earnings coming up. Yeah, there's earnings coming up soon for NVIDIA. So we could have like some crazy volatile, well, we will definitely have crazy volatile moves. Let's go into the day chart for NVIDIA, guys. Oh, can you see a gap fill there, guys? Oh, I love gap fills. It's like one of those things that I'm like really loving to fill in. I don't know why. Right, so let's fill in this gap fill. I've already got it set up. Let me fill in my gaps. Okay. So there is a gap fill here, guys, on the daily time frame that NVIDIA is trying to fill as it's moving upwards on the day chart. So if it can blast through this gap fill here, guys, like if it can blast through here and then just rocket all the way through, it could go back to all-time highs, ready for the earnings for NVIDIA. But because it's been in the news about, you know, having competition with, you know, DeepSeek causing, you know, basically this whole slump when it kind of like downtrended, earnings may not be as, you know, well, the earnings may be just excellent, but then the sentiment of the market because of DeepSeek and AI and the competition there, kind of, we'll wait and see, guys. I'm not quite sure which way earnings will go. Not that, you know, I ever know which way earnings will go. Like Palantir was just like amazing, but if we get a huge, you know, kind of uptrend for NVIDIA as it explodes on earnings, that would just be tremendous, because that's going to take NVIDIA way past its all-time highs of like, you know, 153. Then it'll be in price discovery mode. Gosh, who knows how high NVIDIA could go. Like it could go super, super high. So as you can see on the 4-hour chart, guys, NVIDIA is like slowly creeping and filling that gap fill, but whether it has the oomph or, you know, the gumption to go past the break from the downtrend and then make it, you know, make its way back to all-time highs and then go into price discovery, we're not really sure. We'll wait for next week. Okay, moving on to the SPY. Okay, I actually haven't charted this on my video yet, so I'm going to have to do it fresh, which is good for you guys. I'm not quite sure what these red and green lines are, so let me just get rid of them. Must have been from a while ago. Okay, so guys, we are on the monthly chart, and I'll show you how to really like, you know, mark up these charts. So like I said, the easiest way is to go into a line chart. That's the easiest way that you can spot where, you know, the swing highs and swing lows end. So let's get my rectangular box ready. So we'll start at the bottom. Well, not really at the bottom, but we'll start quite close to here. So back in the day, this is a point where, you know, there was support for the SPY, and the SPY is the S&P 500, guys. So it's the US top 500 companies that you invest in, and obviously the majority of the top 500 that really holds up the SPY. Well, it was the Magnificent Seven, but for the past, you know, few months now, it's just been NVIDIA that's been holding up the SPY. So I think this is where Warren Buffett's kind of, you know, speech about, you know, less diversification and more just singular, you know, investments into one stock kind of does you, you know, really, really does well for you. So had you known how well NVIDIA and how powerful NVIDIA was going to be, and you literally just had most of your, you know, money in NVIDIA, you would have done really well. So anyway, guys, so that was a support here, as you can see back way down when the price was about 270. Normally I wouldn't chart so far down, but because I haven't charted this before, it's quite good just to have it on, you know, your your radar where these kind of zones are. So that's the demand zone, the supply zone, the demand zone, the support zone. They're both kind of like the same thing. It's where buyers are sat waiting to purchase these stocks for trading or for investments. So let's move that there. So can you see every time it hits this, it will bounce up. So it's a very good support there for the S&P 500. So I'll clone this instead of drawing it again. And then the next time it has a support is kind of like round about here. Okay, so that's another support right there. Don't forget I'm on the monthly, so I always work from the bigger time frames out to the smaller time frames, guys. Like work down from large to small. Okay, so then this is another place where there's like some kind of, you know, resistance and support going on here. So it's increased this box a bit. Okay, so there's some kind of like support and resistance that's taking place there. And then if we go further up here, it's kind of like not very clear. If you noticed how there's not like the valleys and peaks aren't like that. They're not as many as like here, where it's easier for you to spot where the trend is for the price action. So from this point, I'll move on to the weekly. Can you see now the weekly offers you more troughs and peaks to like figure out where to put your support and trend lines? I mean, sorry, to put your support zones. So, oh, I said I was going to clone. So let me clone this one. Okay, so now if we kind of like say here is a place where it is getting some kind of support before it moves up. And then if I clone this one again and round about here, there's some kind of support here as well. And then at this point, I'll move on to the day chart. And then in the day chart, now you can like, you know, double check where your zones, if they're sitting quite, you know, decent. So can you see, guys, here, every time it goes to this zone, there is like a reaction. So it's hitting its ceiling and it's been pushed back down. And then obviously when it gets to this bottom support zone here, it's like there's lots of buys pushing it back up, and then it hits the ceiling, it'll go back down as a small pullback. But that's not like that's the interest swing, it's not the bigger swing. And then you can see buyers are buying it back up again. And yeah, so if we concentrate on the day chart here, so yeah, I think I'll leave that support there, and then I think there's another support that I can add in here. So if I get my rectangle and add in another support kind of round about here, say, you can see it bouncing off this zone here, can't you? Okay. Ooh. And just draw that in again. That's the word I was looking for. It feels really therapeutic to add these zones, these marking up charts. It's like really therapeutic to do, especially on a Sunday. Okay, guys, so that is another support. Okay, so now if we move on to the 4-hour chart, we'll see if these lines, like if the support zones kind of match up and they make sense. When you go smaller, it gives you like more details. So let me just clone this one, and then this seems to be a topping point. Now that seems to be a topping point for the SPY. So as you can see, guys, the SPY it's going like back to its, you know, highest all-time highs. Look, a few people have predicted that the SPY will hit 600 by 2025, and it really did. So as you can see, if I mark this out here, you can see it's like breaking past 600. Can you see there, guys? So the SPY is like holding that, and it's in price discovery. So it's in this, all this here, guys, up here is price discovery for the SPY S&P 500. It's already gone past, it's broken through this resistance here. It's broken through this resistance zone. So it could, on Monday, it could come back for a retest and then keep going, or it could come back and then flush, depending on what's happening in the market. Although there's been rumors that Warren Buffett, I was going to call him Warren Bucket. Warren Buffett has, sold out of the SPY. I think that's what I heard last. Okay, let's now go and put in the candles back so that we can see what's happening with the chart. So like I said, guys, go into a line chart to do your charting. It makes it a lot easier. Can you see, like, if you, all these candles, they make it quite difficult sometimes to draw in support and resistance, but the lines make it easy, and then you can test it once you look at the candles after. Okay, so guys, so it looks as though the SPY, the S&P 500, was consolidating, and in a way it still is consolidating. If I kind of like mark this out for you, if I change this color to white, so can you see, guys, within this white box, this, like, the S&P 500 has been consolidating from November of last year up until now. So it hasn't, like, all it's been doing is it's just been like bouncing about in here. Look, it hasn't been doing anything. It's just been bouncing around. I mean, you can do intraday plays, but yeah. So on the 4-hour chart, let me just get rid of that white box. That, get rid of that. Okay, so it is making its way up. So I can draw like a small trend line for you, so you can like see. Change that to white. Okay, so can you see, guys, it is trending up, but then don't forget there is also, you have to be aware that there is also this trend line here that's going down. So we keep an eye out on this, because even though it's broken through, even though like the SPY has broken through here, look, it's broken through to go up, and it's in an uptrend at the moment, that you never know, it can like come back to retest, do a back test, retest, and then it can like carry on going up. So if I have a marker, maybe I can mark that out for you. So can you see, guys, it's doing this, and it normally it can. So this is why it's good to have your support and resistance, because there's two points where the SPY can like retest and backtest. It can backtest on this top support, this top resistance, which is now turned into support, and then it can carry on, or it can like keep going through that and then bounce on this trend line here, and then it can move up. Okay, so there's like, if you're trading, you need to be aware of like where it could literally like pull back to. So it could pull back to the first top bar and then shoot, or if it falls any further because of the news or the FDA or whatever it is that's happening, it could pull back further. And then the third place it can pull back is this support here. Oops. Is it could pull back to this second green bar here that I've got as support. So those are the three levels where it could pull back. So at the moment, that's what it's looking like on the 4-hour chart. But if we go to like the 30-minute chart, we'll see like, so on the 30-minute chart, guys, you can see that it has, this is what I mean by back test. Can you see here, guys? It did a back test here. Look, it broke through the trend line, it back tested it, and then it broke through that resistance, which is now support, and now it's just kind of like, you know, consolidating here until next week, until it decides what to do. So from this point, it could, this is the thing, guys, even though it ends here on a 30-minute chart, what could happen at market open on Tuesday? Don't forget Monday it's closed. What could happen on market open is it could either gap up or it can gap down. And if it gaps up, it'll be like the gap and go. So once it's gapped up, it'll just go. So, you know, at that point on a Monday, on a Tuesday, you can keep an eye on this and see if it gaps up, because you can have like a really good call option, you know, to the upside and do a long play. But if it gaps down, then it could fall to all these resistant points that I've mentioned to you. Like it could go through this first green box, hit this line, this support line here, and it may go through that and go to the second green box. So, and that would be like a dip and rip, and then it will just like plummet. And if it does that, guys, then that's a good chance for you to jump in and do a short call, do a short play, or, you know, play it to the downside. So it can either gap and go, or it can do a dip and rip, or it could just keep on consolidating. But normally there's always an explosive move when the market opens in the first hour of trading. So this is quite an interesting one to look at, I mean, when it opens. But if you do like, if I add some more lines for you, you can see there is like this pattern that's playing out. And, you know, even though you draw these lines in, there's no guarantee that it will play out this way. But if it does, you know, you've got like, I'll show you. Let me just draw this in. So here, oh, let me just put that back again. What happened? Okay, let me just draw this in again, guys. So if you're a golfer, this could be like, you know, a great chance for you to like have a hole in one, as they say. So here, because it's been on an uptrend, okay, so can you see this flag pattern here, guys? So with this flag pattern, there's a good chance it could like explode upwards and carry on. But like I said, guys, even though there's this pattern that's playing out, it really does depend on the news and, you know, what happens in the news that kind of defines how SPY will move. And also NVIDIA, like I said, NVIDIA's been holding up the SPY like most of like the past few months. So every time NVIDIA does a big move, then the SPY kind of like follows suit. So anyway, guys, that's SPY. And I'm going to have to throw in my degen play, guys, because I'm a bit of a degen when it comes to GameStop. You see this huge move that GameStop had on the after hours on February 13th, just before Valentine's Day. Look at this huge move, guys. This huge move here was simply because like there was speculation that GameStop, the CEO of GameStop, Ryan Cohen, was you know, he had a photo taken basically with Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, the biggest owner of Bitcoin at the moment, the guy that owns, you know, the company that buys loads of Bitcoins on behalf of his private investors. But so anyway, so the picture of Ryan Cohn was taken with that guy, with Michael Saylor, and speculation was that the so many billions, I think $4 billion dollars that GameStop has in its holdings is going to be like used to buy Bitcoin. And this is why there was like a huge crazy move after hours, and I played this, so I kind of like got some nice profits from this. So for me, you know, I played GameStop and other penny stocks just to have these squeezes. This was like a mini squeeze, and every time there's a squeeze, I kind of like, you know, make some gains on it, and then obviously I wait for the price to drop and wait for it to squeeze again. But I play this in shares. For the options, I tend to hold it like long term out into 2026 or something, you know, because you don't really know when the MOAS or when the squeeze will take place. So with the options, I kind of like hold it long term, like leap options on this. But anyways, none of this is financial advice, guys. It's just me, like, for entertainment purposes, giving you my degen my degen fun plays on GameStop. So DJT is also another one that I've played a few times. I played this for the inauguration. So for inauguration, if I go on to the day chart here, guys, this is when I played it for inauguration. It was just crazy. So for DJT, if you don't know, it's the Donald Trump media company, and can I see it easier on a weekly? Let me just see, or the monthly. So yeah, I think I see it easier for, yeah. So what happened for Donald Trump's inauguration? Oh, here it is. So literally what happened was I bought in on my shares at round about, I think it was maybe $20, $30 or something like this. And it exploded when he won, like, the elections. Oh, sorry, not inauguration, for the elections. So he won, and then his stock exploded. And there's this thing called halting in trading, where if a stock kind of like runs so many percent like faster than it should, it gets shut down. So at the time when they found, you know, when they realized that Trump had won, like, you know, he got the last seat, his stock just like exploded and it just ran crazy. So the stock exchange had to like stop trading altogether for like 20 minutes or something. They had to halt it, so it's called halting. And when they halted it at this price point, like literally it couldn't go any higher than this. It just couldn't. So what happened was everybody kind of then thought, oh, it's over. So everybody who bought, like where I did, they all started selling out. So I did the exact same thing. Like, I sold out as well. And when I sold out of it, obviously everybody else sold out, and then obviously it crashed and it got dumped. So then it never went any higher. So from then it's just like been on this downtrend. Thought since the sellers have all sold out of it, it's been back down, you know, to here again. And now it's just a case that, you know, people just play the DJT stock when there's like some news. So at the moment, the tariffs is, you know, not really in favor of Trump, because he's, you know, it's not in favor of, you know, this stock running. But as soon as like Trump comes out with something that's going to be like amazing for like everybody, then this stock is just going to fly to the moon again and then get halted. But the thing is, because a lot of people have played this, and it's the same with GameStop. When people play these kind of penny stocks or these kind of degen plays, there's going to be what's called bag holders. And you've got to be careful of these bag holders, because when there is bag holders in the market, like say you were playing this DJT trump back in April, May time, and you didn't sell because maybe you weren't like, you know, you weren't aware what was happening because you weren't like, you know, you're not an active trader. Well, then you would have held a bag of like Trump shares at around about $60 here, you know, $55 to $60. And if you still have a bag here that you've been holding and it's just been dumping, well, then you wouldn't have sold, would you? You would have held on to your bag. So they call them bag holders. So the thing with bag holders is it's like another form of resistance. So they're basically your future sellers of these bags. So they obviously don't want to like lose money because, you know, they're holding it at $60 a share. So they're waiting now. At the price right now is obviously about $30. So they're waiting now for the Trump shares to go back up, DJT to go back up beyond $60, and then they'll get rid of their bags and then they'll sell out. So what I'm saying is there's bag holders in these companies like DJT. So you've got to be careful when you play this, that, you know, as soon as they sell at the price point that they need to get out of, then you need to sell as well. Until all bag holders are out, then DJT can go a lot higher beyond $60. So that's like another DGEM play outside of GME. And like I said, guys, these are just for my entertainment only, for your entertainment only. Okay, so Google's also had a really good run. And I've also played Google, as you can see from all these markings on these charts. So Google is still on an upward trend, and Google is an excellent company, you know, to invest in and also to trade in, although it's a very slow, long grind with options on Google. So I don't tend to like play Google that much. I played Coinbase as well, as you can see from all the markings I have on my charts. The reason why I played Coinbase is because, oh, look at that beautiful cup and handle on the monthly, guys. Can you see this cup and handle here, guys? If I can, like, where's my marking tool? Here. Can you see, guys, this here? That's a lovely cup and handle. So I know they're funny, aren't they, these patterns, but it does work. So every time you see this, you can see that it will just keep ballooning, keep going uptrending and just go exploding upwards. So yeah, there's a nice cup and handle to keep out for Coinbase. So the reason why I play Coinbase is because Bitcoin, you know, when people trade and buy and sell altcoins and, you know, all the meme coins, they do it through Coinbase. And Coinbase is kind of like the easiest kind of platform for, you know, normies or the general public to use. So the more people that trade meme coins and altcoins and Bitcoin during this alt season and, you know, Bitcoin dominant season, then Coinbase gets, you know, a lot of traffic. And when they get a lot of traffic, their revenue starts to go up. So this is why I trade Coinbase currently. And then obviously MSTR also I trade for the same reason I trade Coinbase. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin on the monthly here, this is what I meant by the cup and handle. You can see how it works. Like, let me draw it out for you. Where's that brush gone? Here we go. Can you see there, guys? That's the cup and that's the handle, and then it shoots up. Can you see? That's how the cup and handle pattern works. So that's just something to bear in mind.